I just got off the phone with security snobs. I asked them questions about my Abloy and anchor locks. Differences, well, I didn't specifically want to know the difference, but I've discovered the difference that I didn't know about previously, and I decided to make a video about it. So first of all, this is how I transport my locks to the swimming pool. This is the Abloy, and this is the anchor locks, and this is how I transport the keys. This is from a prescription. Hold on a second. This is a prescription medicine bottle, which fits the keys perfectly, and I don't have to worry about bending them. So this is the Abloy key, this is the anchor lock key, and this is from one of my other locks, which I'm not going to talk about right now. So if you look at the specs for these, they seem similar in many ways, right? So they're both chrome plated brass, and they both have a rotating disc security system, right? So it seems like, and they're both made in Europe, or rather in Scandinavia. So you would think, like, why is this $85 and this $40? First, I got this one because I've only heard about the name Abloy and never heard about anchor locks, so I got this one. And then later I wanted an additional lock, and I've discovered this one, the anchor locks, and it's half the price. And I was kicking myself because, like, why did I spend so much money on this one if this one is also chrome plated brass? It's also made in Europe, also has a rotating disc system. Like, why did I spend so much money on this? Well, after today's conversation, I no longer feel like this was a mistake. And that's not to say that this is bad, but anyway, so I'm just gonna say, like, no suspense, why I don't regret this anymore. Because the security snobs, which is where I bought the locks, I asked them whether they would be able to cut me an identical key in case I wanted an extra key, or make a lock to my existing key if I wanted an extra lock, and they said yes for Abloy, no for anchor locks. They are able to perform this operation for the Abloy, but for the anchor locks they have to put in the request in Sweden. We would wait half a year, pay a shitload of money, and so on and so forth. So basically, it is possible in both cases. They're both rekeyable locks and all that, but in this case, it would have to go through Sweden, and it would be a fucking nightmare. And in this case, he said no problem. We do it in house in the store, and it's not an issue. So this is a big deal, okay? And but that's not the only difference. First, this lock is also significantly heavier, like it's very heavy. This one is heavy, but it's a little bit thinner, and it's not quite as heavy. Even though the nice touch is how deep they recess the mechanism here to make it more secure, versus here it's recessed, but it's not quite as deep. And also another difference is that the Abloy has a boron shackle, and this, there was no mention of any boron or whatever. And also, you see how close the shackle is to the outer edge? I mean, like, the body of the lock itself is not very massive, versus here, you see there's more material over here. So it's like it's just a thicker casing, boron shackle. And the keys, in case of the Abloy, the key is symmetrically cut on both sides, so you can insert it any way you like. Versus on the anchor locks, it's only cut on one side, and there's a diagram here which you have to match to this shape over here. So see, right now it's the wrong way, but it should be this way. in order for the key to go in, because it only has it's only cut on one side but not the other, it has to be inserted a certain way. So if it's really dark, you might not be able to see this. So that's another downside. So basically, even though they're both like considered high-end, high security locks, you know, this really pulls away in several respects. The bore and shackle, the thicker body, the key which can be inserted either way, and finally, if you're in the United States like me, the fact that you can get a key cut for it in the store itself, the store that sells the lock, not having to go through the manufacturer in Europe to cut the key. So you know what, if I'm gonna be getting another lock, I think I'm gonna go with this one, even though, you know, it is twice the price, but it's not really comparable what you get with these two locks, although at first it may seem like it is.